Private Lender Podcast, episode 130.
The Private Lender Podcast quote of the day comes to us from a Dutch proverb which says, "The art is not in making money, but in keeping it."
This is the Private Lender Podcast, the show that shares practical advice and know-how for new and seasoned lenders, from private mortgages on single-family houses to joint ventures on commercial projects and beyond. Discover details about investment vehicles that you won't find at your local bank or online broker. Listen and learn from private lenders and real estate investors, as well as from professionals and entrepreneurs, as they share the details, strategies, and the insight that allows for successful and prosperous lending. Now, get ready to increase your ROI. Here's your host, Keith Baker.
Hello, Private Lender Nation, and welcome to episode 130 of the Private Lender Podcast. I'm your host, Keith Baker, and I'd like to thank you for sharing your time and your ears with me today. If you're looking for practical tips and advice on how to keep your money safe as a private lender, then you are in the right place. But if you want to learn from my mistakes so that you can avoid them and profit from them, well, then pull up a chair and pour yourself a drink, my friend, because this podcast is just for you. In today's episode, we'll continue our monthly lesson from the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Today's lesson is the fourth cure for a lean purse, or as I like to say, a lean account. But before we get to the heart of the matter, first I need to do a little housekeeping. Have you joined the Private Lender Podcast Facebook group? Well, why the hell not? Head over to the show notes for the link or simply search Facebook groups for Private Lender Podcast. It is a public group. However, you have to answer a few questions primarily to show me that you can follow instructions, but also to make sure that you are a private lender and a fit for the group. I deny more people than I let in because they're not all private lenders. They're looking to fund deals, projects, et cetera, et cetera. That will come at another point in time. Right now, I just want the community of private lenders. So Private Lender Podcast Facebook group. And most important of all, the Private Lender Academy is launching in just a few weeks. And if you'd like to get on the list for pre-launch bonuses like discount codes or coaching calls, impromptu Facebook groups or Facebook Lives, then head over to privatelenderacademy.com and click on Apply Now. Provide a little background on your investing experience and your goals, and you'll be eligible for the pre-launch goodies. The Private Lender Academy is slated to launch just after the July 4th weekend, probably around the 6th or the 7th. So you definitely want to, go there, privatelenderacademy.com, click on Apply Now, and get in line. Okay, the housekeeping is finished, and now it's time to get down to the brass tacks of today's episode, the fourth cure for a lean account. And like so many lessons in life that we should heed, the principle is quite simple, but we humans seem to have trouble with the execution. The fourth cure for a lean purse points precisely to the first core value of a private lender, ROI1, the return of investment. So let's go ahead and get to it and listen to what the main character, Arkad, tells his students. Misfortune loves a shining mark. Gold in a man's purse must be guarded with firmness, else it be lost. Thus it is wise that we must first secure small amounts and then learn to protect them before the gods entrust us with larger. Every owner of gold is tempted by opportunities whereby it would seem that he could make large sums by its investment in most plausible projects. Often friends and relatives are eagerly entering such investments and urge him to follow. The first sound principle investment is security for your principal. That's where Keith says return of investment. Is it wise to be intrigued by larger earnings when your principal could be lost? I say not. The penalty of risk is probable loss. Study carefully before parting your money, each assurance that it may be safely reclaimed. Do not be misled by your own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. Before you loan it to any man, assure yourself of his ability to repay and his reputation for doing so, that you may not unwittingly be making him a present of your hard-earned money. Before you entrust it as an investment in any field, acquaint yourself with the dangers which may threaten it. My own first investment was a tragedy to me at the time. The guarded savings of 1 year I did entrust to a brickmaster who was traveling the far seas to the city of Tyre, agreed to buy from me the rare jewels of the Phoenicians. These we would sell upon his return and divide the profits. The Phoenicians were scoundrels and sold him bits of glass. My money was lost. Today, my training would show me at once the mistake I made of entrusting a brickmaster to buy jewels. Therefore, I advise you, from the wisdom of my experiences, do not be too confident in your own wisdom by entrusting your wealth to the possible pitfalls of investments. It is by far better to consult the wisdom of those experienced in the handling of money for profit. Such advice is freely given for the asking and may readily possess a value equal in gold to the amount you consider investing. In truth, such is its actual value if it saves you from loss. This, then, is the fourth cure for a lean purse, and of great importance if it prevents your purse from being emptied once it has become filled. Guard your wealth from loss by investing only where your principal is safe, where it may be reclaimed if desirable, and where you will not fail to collect a fair rental. Consult with wise men. Secure the advice of those experienced in the profitable handling of money. Let their wisdom protect your wealth from unsafe investments. And there you have the fourth cure for a lean purse. Just take a moment. Let it set in. And know that this is where the first ROI comes from, the return of investment. Seek those who are accustomed to the profitable trade of money or the profitable handling of money. All right, he entrusted a brick maker to jewels. Hence, don't loan your money to someone who's a landlord who wants to do their flip for the first time. That's what hard money's for. All right? That's probably not a great analogy because at least the landlord is in real estate. But you get the drift. I hope you do anyway. And the drift is this. I don't charge money for the show, but there is a cost for me to produce it, and I'd be extremely grateful if you would help drive awareness to the Private Lender Podcast, to get the word out by leaving me an honest rating and review over at iTunes, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or whatever platform you are using to hear my voice. It doesn't take that long, and it's a small price to pay for the value that I provide every week, or at least I try to provide every week. And besides the value that I give you, I mean, look, this is a good way to erase bad karma, and you need some good karma. So just go, just go out there, go to the show notes page. There's a place where you can share it. You can get to the easy link to rate and review, subscribe. Just do it. It's for karma, man. It's not for me. It's not for you. It's for karma. Anyway, that's going to do it for, what are we at? Episode 130. And just a few final thoughts before I close it out. Please go and join the Private Lender Podcast Facebook group. Answer a few questions about your investments, your styles, your philosophy, and join us in the community of private lenders. And also remember that the Private Lender Academy is going to launch in July, just about a month away. Head over to privatelenderacademy.com for more information. And to be eligible for discounts and other pre-launch goodies like group coaching calls or Facebook Lives, then click on Apply Now, give us a little bit of information, and you'll be in line for the goodies. So as I sign off, I'd like to say, in addition to self-awareness and mindfulness, I wish you safe and prosperous private lending. And I'll catch you on the next episode.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Private Lender Podcast with your host, Keith Baker. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit privatelenderpodcast.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate and review, and we'll catch you next time.